Well, hey guys, this is DK Spencer, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so why not do a little less lethal? So, my boy Doug asked me a question, and I'm going to answer that, and then some unasked questions too. So, whenever you get a handguard, usually, like say you buy this handguard, it's going to come with this barrel nut, right? So let's say you're using an old school VKS, the ones that use the drop-in handguard. You're going to take that whole Delta ring assembly off, and you're going to take the small barrel nut that the VKS has, and you're going to replace it with the barrel nut that actually came with the handguard. All right, and like this one, for example, has a groove around it, and when you tighten these screws, they've got little pads in there, if you can see it, and they go into this groove to hold it securely. Now, like say you're going to put this handguard on a VKS Pro. Well, a VKS Pro has a longer barrel nut, right? That's about like that. And that actually holds the VKS Pro's barrel more stable than a short barrel nut. All right. So if you can, and with this particular handguard, one reason that I use these quite a bit, other than the fact that they're just beautiful and very well made, the reason I use these quite a bit, and I'll tell you one more thing, these have these little locking tabs, right? And those tabs will catch on either side of the receiver like that and prevent it from turning. All right, so like on a VKS Pro, the VKS Pro barrel nut will actually work with this handguard, so you can leave the barrel nut on it, all right, and it'll give you more barrel stability. You just can trash the one that comes with it, and you tighten this down on it, right, and then these little tabs will prevent it from unscrewing on you. You should tighten it, Loctite it, whatever anyway, but unlike an AR-15 where you're actually torquing the barrel nut down to the barrel where it's extremely tight, with the VKS, it's, you know, you're not getting it quite to the torque specs that you would on an AR-15. So you do have that potential if somebody, like say, is screwing in the tank or unscrewing the tank or whatever, and they're holding their handguard instead of the receiver, it could unscrew if they don't have it tightened properly and Loctited or whatever. So these little tabs prevent that. It doesn't let it twist. It holds it, you know, to the receiver. All right. Now, if you're putting this handguard on an AR-15, you're going to literally replace this barrel nut with you're going to take the AR-15 barrel nut off, put this one on, so it's a perfect fit, okay? Like I say, VKS Pro, you can use this handguard on their barrel nut, and it's going to come out quite a bit longer than this one, give you more stability, whatever. So you're not going to use this one. All right, so on a carbine kit, and this is getting to the actual question, on a carbine kit, they don't have a removable barrel nut. They have this piece here, which acts as a barrel nut, but you can't take this off and put this on. So when you're doing one of these, when you're using a carbine rail kit, which this is a First Strike carbine rail kit, they're pretty much out of stock everywhere. But anyway, if you do get your hands on one and you're using one, you can't take that barrel nut off to put this one on. So you have to find a handguard that will work with this barrel nut. Now the UTGs will, and as you can see, they fit perfect and they lock, and you just, you know, tighten this down and friction holds it on. All right, and you can even, if you want to, you can actually even drill a couple of grooves or holes or whatever to make it hit better. You don't really need to tighten it down good. It's not going anywhere. All right, so this is a CQMF handguard. All right, so they just have like a it just pinches together with these two, and you've got two little set screws here that go down. All right, and it actually has two little tabs as well. Not nearly as nice as the UTG tabs, but still same principle. All right, not that you have to worry about that on this, because that barrel nut does not unscrew. So unless you just don't have your handguard tight enough, it's not going anywhere anyway. But it's nice to have that, right? So anyway, to to put this on, again, you just forget about the barrel nut that was on it, on the handguard, which in this case you're going to leave it on the CQMF anyway. So this, I hope I said that right. This is a CQMF handguard. I was talking VKS as a, hope I didn't say this was a VKS handguard, but anyway, CQMF handguard here. You're going to tighten those. I'm not going to do it ridiculous because I'm not leaving this on there. But anyway, you tighten that down. Your handguard's secured at that point. So just to give an idea of the length of barrels and stuff that you can use with this, this is a 9-inch Lapco with a Mach suppressor. So that's where that's going to sit if you use a 9-inch with a Mach suppressor. All right, hold that thought. Okay, and this is the barrel that's going to go on this. This is not the handguard that's going to go on this. I'm building this one for my buddy Colin. All right, so what we're going to use on this one is going to be a freak barrel. Now, if you use a freak barrel and you're going to put a Mach suppressor on it, you actually, your sleeves in your freak barrel, if you just put the Mach suppressor straight on it, your sleeves fall out. So what you have to do is you have to put on this little locking device, which is really good if you're using like a comp and it won't stick out far enough to have the threads exposed. So anyway, and let's actually see how long that is. Okay, so once we put all that on there, this is 7 inches, okay? And we'll go ahead and put that on too. All right, so that's a freak barrel, which is a very good. So I love freak barrels because they're smooth bore and you can pick what size bore you want. I typically stick with either the 682, 684, 687, depending on what I'm shooting. So anyway, that's what you get when you put a 7-inch barrel with that. Now, let me show you something else. Okay, so. And this is from the Joker build, so that's why it's got that white line around it. So let's take this off. And that's why I didn't want to get it very tight. All right, take that off. So you're going to use, a regular, 5 1/4 Lapco or whatever these are. Notice they're not going to stick out. So, and we'll see. So that's just over 5 inches. So let's see if we actually put this, because you can use these not only as a locking mechanism, I use them probably more for just a little extra extension to clear like a comp. But let's see if we put that on there. All right, so then that's going to bring us to just under 6 inches. And we're still not going to clear enough to put a Mach suppressor on it. So, you know, just to show you, so you're not going to be able to use a short Lapco barrel, even if you put an extension on it. But the freak barrels and the 9-inch Lapcos obviously work. And then let's see something else. Okay, so I'm going to, and just so if anybody's wondering and don't have a CQMF handguard, this is a 5-inch handguard. This is also a 5-inch handguard, supposedly. Now, they're not exactly the same, but they're sold as 5-inch handguards. So anyway, I'll give you kind of a little bit of a pointer reference there. So tighten that just enough to keep it on there. But so this is a Home Defense 24 barrel with 1 extension, so that puts it 9.5 inches. All right. Now, unfortunately, right now there's not a mock suppressor that fits this. The Lapco one does not. But as you can see, brings it right there to the end. Now they have a, is that the one for it? No, but anyway, they do have, you know, they come with one of those, so I'll have to find the actual one. I know that's not it either. But anyway, so if you put the thread protector on it, they actually, the Home Defense 24 barrel lines up exactly perfectly. So yeah, hold that thought. Okay. So here's actually the one that these barrels come with. They look the same but different threading. So anyway, which is that's pretty sick. All right, so we got that, right? All right. So my buddy was asking about putting one flush, or putting a mock suppressor, but it being more flush to the barrel. So let's say we use a freak barrel. All right. Actually, it's not going to work with the freak. Going to see if one of these would be long enough, but it's not. So let's do a 9-inch, because MCS makes these little guys, so they're not exactly a mock suppressor, but yeah, it's going to be too short too. Yeah. So anyway, I guess that's going to be the options there. So it's going to stick out a little bit. The closest you're going to probably get, well, the most flush you're going to get is going to be using a freak barrel, not the 9-inch if you use this, because it's going to be a little bit shorter. Because as you can see, that's going way back there. So anyway, so that's going to be about as close as you're going to get to what you're talking about. I don't know how really you would get one flush, because you would need like probably a 7.5 inch threaded, I guess. So anyway, all right, there you go. Yeah, very educational, huh? All right, guys, this is DK Spencer. Like and subscribe. Hey, give me a break. It's 5 o'clock in the morning.